future surgeons and anesthesiologists, we are on to program number 5, SlipNSlide. It's the last one in our intro to for loops. So in this one, we are determining the product of these fractions: 1/2, 1/3, 1/4, 1/5, and 1/6. Do not use a list for this problem. You must use the in range format. So we're challenging ourselves to use the in range instead of the list. There's very easy ways to find the product of all the lists, but we're going to try and do this using a for loop because we want to understand some of the principles of it. So we're going to start with just that. So for I, remember that is the integer value. So it doesn't have to be the integer value, but it is the iteration within a certain range that we give each step that we take. So we're going to use that in range as denoted here. And remember, when we have this, we want to start and we want to stop. Now, if we look here, we have a sequence. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Isn't that what a for loop does? It does that counting, that 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can start, our first one is at 2. So our I is going to be our denominator. So for I, which basically our denominator is 2, and then our stop, remember it does not include, it stops right there. So we have to go 1 past 6, which would be 7, and then we can do our step as 1. You don't have to put the 1, it will automatically read that. But yeah. So there we go. We've got for I in range of 2, starting at 2, going to 7, up to 1. And now we want to do something to this. We want to have a product. So we want our product to equals our, or multiply equals, because that's what we're doing. We're multiplying and equaling our integer. Cool. So now we don't have product that exists out of here. So we want to have our product. We can set that equal to 1. Once again, we did this before. If we're doing multiplication, we want to start with 1. We don't want to start with 0. Otherwise, it will cancel out anything like this. So essentially, we are getting I. We're going to get for I, now our values are going to equal, or for product is going to be equal to the multiplication of I, which is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to get all the products of those, multiply them together, and divide them over 1. So the way that we can do this, instead of setting up another problem, remember we can do equations within F strings. So we are going to print an F string over here. So we will do F to start our F string, and then we're going to say the product is 1 divided by, and then our product, because remember that's going to come out as our list, our 1, 2, or our 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we're going to get that very simply. So right over here, we just have our fraction. We're going to get the product of all those things multiplied together. Or we want them in 2 different spots. We have our fraction and decimal answer. It's not, we're going to use the or statement here because it could be this or that, not this and that. Like, it's not them combined, just to clarify that if anyone had questions on that. But the cool thing within our F statements or our F strings, we can actually do functions in here. So we can do our 1 divided by our product, or I shouldn't say functions, I should say equations. But I also want to modify this. According to this, we want it rounded to the 6th decimal place. So we're going to do our :.6f because we want to maintain it as a float. And then we can finish up, put our apostrophe and our bracket. And now we should have all 5 of our programs done, which is right here. Submit 1 file of the following. It should look like the output below. When you're finished, I'm making what the output looks like right now. So that's why that photo is not up here yet, but it will be. But yeah, this should be our problem. So let's run this. Cool, so we've got our first answer, our second answer. So this is our skateboard, then rollerblades, then whatever the third one was. I can't remember what I named these things. We'll do 16 this time. We'll get a larger number than we did before, but we're grabbing all those. We're gonna enter in a string. Let's do one of my favorites. We're gonna say Magic the Gathering. And cool, there are 6 vowels in there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That still continues. There are 6 vowels in the string Magic the Gathering. And then the product is equal to 1 over 720 or 0.001389. Cool. So your output should look something like this. I'm going to format it to make it look a little bit cleaner with some spaces in between these. But yep, cool. We should be good. Awesome. Talk to you later.